P1 and P2 have both defined structure containing X and Y but do not have a tag. Means this particular structure tag is missing. See here, we are having point tag, here we are not having point tag, right? Then what is the difference? Say suppose I want to use later on and I want to create a third point, but in this case we are not having the name of structure, right? If I am not having name of structure, how can I write I want point third object? Because I don't have the name point, so how can I take third object? So that's a problem. Whenever we are having no tag, we cannot use or we cannot reference it later on in your program. So let us have the third example. Third example is struct point integer x, integer y, p1 comma p2. So here again I am giving point as a name of tag and then I am writing p1 comma p2. Same as the other two, but here we are uniting p1 comma p2. Look at the difference. In first one we were having third statement, in this one we were not having tag. Here we are having p1 and p2's declaration with the same statement of structure definition. So here we are having tag, so we can use the later on. If we want to create the third variable of point p3, then later on I can write point p3, right? Some points to be remembered whenever we are dealing with structures. Whenever we are creating the structure's template is not reserving any memory. So I am writing a structure definition does not reserve any space in memory. Why? Because it's just a template, right? If I am saying student, then student is a general name, is a general entity, it cannot have any memory, right? But if I am saying student S1, or say suppose I am saying student Divyanshu, right? Then Divyanshu can have particular mark, he can have some roll number, he can have some address, right? But a general entity student, he can just have a template that he can have this many attributes, but he cannot have the values, right? The same way structure's definition is just a template and it do not reserve any memory. Instead it creates a new data type used to declare the structure variables. Means whenever we are creating other structure variables from it, then only the memory is allocated to the instance, right? So the definition particularly do not have any memory. It is just used to declare the structure variables, but when the structure variables are created, then only the instances are having memory. The entire declaration is considered as one statement and each member is an individual statement inside the structure's definition. If I am writing structure P, inside that I am writing integer A comma integer B, and if I am completing that particular structure with that semicolon, that means that particular whole statement is one statement only, that definition is one statement only. Inside that I am declaring the member variables in individual statements. Again, let me have this memory idea clear to you. Suppose I am creating one structure, struct book, right? So book is one structure. So book is a tag name, struct is the keyword, and I am writing that character name 20. So this particular attribute, this particular variable is storing the name of a book with size 20 characters. And let me take one another variable, that is integer pages, means how many pages a book can have, and float price, right? So here we are storing three variables with book structure. So we are associating name, pages and price to book. The one is character array, means a string, then we are taking integer pages, so number of pages, and float to store the price, right? So these all things are considered as a book's structure, but this particular thing is known as template. This is just a template, right? Template, or you can say just a definition. Now if I want to create B1 book, right? So I will be writing in the bracket, after completion of bracket, I will be writing B1 semicolon. So this B1 is the object of book, or we can say a B1 is a variable of structure book. So now let me take that memory allocation of this particular B1. So character, each is storing 20, each is storing 1 byte, that's why the total memory allocation for name would be 20 bytes. Then this pages is of type integer, and we know that integer size is 2 bytes. So integer pages would be storing 2 bytes. Float price, again price would be storing 4 bytes. So the total memory allocations required for this particular structure would be 20 plus 2 plus 4. So total 26 bytes would be required to define this particular structure. So there is some padding, but we are not going into detail of padding. So total overall 26 byte would be required for this particular B1 object. This book is not requiring any memory, just the B1. Whenever we are creating B1, then only the 26 bytes would be occupied. Let us have the quick look again after on the type def. Now what is type def? We all know type def is required to required for user defined data types. If I want to create one particular data type of my own, which would be of type integer, right, suppose, but I want to be known with that particular type. Say suppose I am writing that student, right? I want student to be acting as a data type. I want student to be acting like data type. Means rather than writing, suppose I am considering that this particular student entity is of type integer. Don't go into detail. Student is just I have taken as an example. You can consider it like S. So that particular S is of type integer. If I am wanting to create S of A, suppose I want to create A to be of S. Let me write it again. Let me consider integer S, and this S should be considered as integer. So this S of A, so here A is of type S and ultimately S is of type integer. So if I want to create S to be acted like the definition of particular data type, so here integer is the data type, S is the user defined data type which I can use for A. So that particular thing is known as type def. I can write type def against this particular statement. So that would be acting like a user defined data type. So let us have how we can create the structure with the use of type def. So type def is a keyword. So type def, then we are writing struct. See, the syntax is getting different. Type def struct. Here we are not writing any tag. We are just writing type def struct. Struct means struct is the keyword. Then bracket type 1 id1, type 2 id2 means again the member variables declaration, and then we are writing name of the structure, and the name of the structure here you can write struct underscore type. There at that place you need to write the tag, or you need to write the name of the structure. So we are writing one example. Type struct type def struct. Type def is a keyword, struct is also a keyword. Then we are writing two member variables, name and age. Name is having character 20, age is having integer data type, and then we are writing a tag as student info, right? So here we are writing student info as the tag of structure. And then whenever you want to create other variables, you need to write student underscore info, student 1, student 2. So student 1 and student 2 are ultimately the structure variables. Of which type? Student info type. So here we have declared this particular thing with the help of type def, right? Okay, now we are learning that how we can initialize the members of the structure. So structure variables can also be initialized like other variables. Suppose I am saying integer a, I am writing a is equal to 5. That is called the initialization of integer variable. If I am saying that I want an array attribute to be initialized, I would be writing integer a of 5 is equals to in the curly bracket 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there I have initialized that particular array. Same way we can also initialize the structures variable. So structure variable can also be initialized like other variables. There is one-to-one correspondence between the members and their initializing value. This particular statement is only followed when you are declaring the variable like this and when you are initializing the variables like this. So we are writing struct student info, character array name and integer age. So there are two member variables and I am writing its initialization like student1. So that is one entity or that is one object, and that student's name is what? Divyanshu, and its age is 21. So Divyanshu is the name of student and his age is 21, right? So that is the student's information. Which student's information? First student's information, and the name is student1. So at the time of declaration only I am initializing this particular variables. The second way is after the completion of structure definition, we are writing struct student info S1. So S1 is the object. As here I said student1 is the object, here I am saying S1 as an object, and S1's values are Divyanshu and the age is 21 again. So here as I write static, in some compilers you may find that whenever you are writing struct student underscore info or this statement, you need to write static. But in ANSI compiler, whenever you are using static word is not compulsory, but in some cases you require static word whenever you are declaring the variables below the structure's definition. Okay, there is one more point to be remembering. Whenever you want to initialize, say suppose if you are initializing integer a, so that a is there in the structure and you want to initialize, there is only way that you have to define that particular value to that particular attribute only after the definition of that particular variable, structure variable. So whenever you are creating structure variable, then only you can give the amount of that particular variable. You cannot write that particular value at the time of structure's definition. Here suppose I am having the attribute age, so I cannot give the value of age at the time of structure's definition. Here struct student info, that brackets and this particular semicolon, this whole stuff is known as structure definition. So inside the structure definition I cannot give value of any variable, not even a single. So integer age is equal to 20, that is an invalid statement, that's why I have commented it. If I am writing this, it would be lead to error. So it's illegal to give value in the template. Template means structure definition. This would lead to an error. So here I just written that particular thing. C language do not support initialization of individual members within the template. See, whenever you will be studying further classes and that all in Java and whatever stuff, in that this thing is allowed, but with C it's not allowed. C language is not supporting this. It must be done only in the declaration of actual variables. Whenever you are declaring actual variables, then only you can give values. Okay, now the basic thing is coming. Initialization of a particular, accessing a particular member means after creation of any particular structure, we may need to access the members. Accessing means using them in your program. So suppose I am writing struct student information, name and age. So this name and age are what? They are the attributes of this particular student, right? There are two students, student 1 and student 2. Both would be having name and age. So suppose I want to give this student 1 name and age, so rather I can use initialization process. And what is initialization? That you know, you can write it like this or you can write it like this also. But suppose if you want to write it later on, means after starting your program you want to give value to student 1, right? Then you may need printf scanf statement to get the values, right? So at that time, how to access the name variable, how to access the age variable, because they are not the local variable that you can write it directly, that name would be this value or age would be 21, that you cannot directly write it. Why? Because they are not the local variable of main method. So you need some methods to access that particular variables which are there inside the structures object, right? So what you will be using direct component selection operator. That selection operator is the dot operator or period operator. So you need to write a dot, and you need to write one side, you need to write the structure's name, and the remaining side you need to write the attributes name. Attributes name means that particular variable's name which is there residing inside the structure. So here we are having two attributes, name and age, which are residing in the structure. Which structure? Student info structure. Now we have created student 1 comma student 2, means we have created two students, and I want to give values to student 1's attribute. Which are the students 1 attribute? Name and age. So virtually this particular thing can be seen like this. We are having one student, student 1, which is having two things. Which two things? Name, and the second thing is we are having its age, right? So the name would be having some space and age would be having some space. Whenever you are writing this particular structure like this, struct student info student 1 comma student 2 semicolon, here in this case this particular scenario is happening. Student 1 is not having anything in name as well as in age, they both are empty, and we want to give values to these two elements. So I want to give its a name, say suppose XYZ, and I want to say that student's age could be 21 years, right? So I want to give these two values to this particular student. If I am initialization matlab giving values at the time of declaration, but I am not giving values at the time of declaration. In that case what happens? I need to give the values later on in my program. So how we can write it? That we are going to study in accessing the member variable. So if I want to access name from this particular student 1's object, I need to write student 1 dot name. I cannot write name only. Why? Because that particular name is not a variable of main method or any method which you are working on. It's a member variable of student object or member variable of student entity, right? So at that time you need to write student